Hello, friends. Okay, this one is for you if your content gets engagement, but no sales. This is why I'm going to share with you a couple of different reasons why valuable posts are killing your conversions and what to do instead. Okay, so why are you visible but still not converting? How many of you are getting engagement? People are engaging in the feed, but you're not hitting buyers. This is going to hit if this is you. Okay. You've got engagement, impressions in the feed, but no one's actually purchasing from you. So, point number one that I want to hit on today is that comments don't mean sales. If you know anything about me, I am your girl who teaches you how to make millions with a small audience and laser precision messaging. I am not here to teach you how to go viral because viral doesn't mean money. Okay. This is the point I want to make. Engagement doesn't equal demand, bottom line. I have made millions with less engagement and a smaller audience with precision messaging. Okay. This is what I want you to understand. When you get lots of engagement in your content where people are like, oh, this is interesting or really valuable insight, right? You're just creating interesting, educating content. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Many of you on LinkedIn are victim of this piece, okay? You're not actually closing the belief gap of what they desire most and seeing you as the actual solution, right? You're creating a bunch of content trying to be interesting, right? But you're not closing the belief gap, right? Many of you get engagement. As a matter of fact, I would underscore many of you are getting engagement from how many of you are getting engagement from other people in your field, right? Or your fans, your lifetime supporters, right? Or even worse, when that happens, you're getting supported by the algorithm when the most people engaging in your content are people in your field who are quote unquote basically competitors, right? But or friends and fans or past colleagues, but not your premium buyers. This engagement you may think makes you feel good because you're seen, but if it's not being seen by your audience, you are not being seen by your audience. Okay. I don't know how to say that any clearer, right? The bottom line is the algorithm is going to support who's engaging in your feed. And so if you're creating interesting content that your peers, competitors, friends, and supporters are engaging with, but not your ideal client, you're actually doing yourself harm versus help. Now, the other thing I wanted to underscore here is that virility does not mean income. Here's the deal. I know exactly how to go viral. I could do it every day if I wanted. I know exactly how to rile up my audience and get massive engagement. The problem is virility is usually around a topic that is not needle moving in your business. Okay. And the bottom line is you're getting engagement and visibility from second and third degree connections because of engagement on something that is typically not relevant to your value proposition and how you transform people to the solution in your business. So virility means nothing. I'm not impressed when you go viral. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is what I call the invisible gap. This is an invisible gap because you're creating content, and this kind of goes a little bit back to what I was saying a minute ago, where it makes you look smart. It's like, look how much I know, right? You're over educating in the feed. And this historically comes from those of you who come from corporate. You're leveraging LinkedIn like an employee, even though you are now a founder. You are like, look how much I know. Let me give you lots of value. There's no shame in this. It's just that you need to step into being a marketer and understand premium buyer psychology. And you need to shift how you are showing up on LinkedIn. Now, here's the thing. Before I go any further, I am going to be breaking this down over 3 days inside my Messaging That Sells Masterclass. I've made over 12 million in revenue, 15 million in client results, teaching premium buyer psychology. The science behind it has not changed. How I teach it has evolved with the platform, but I will be dropping the details in the chat and you can register. You are not going to want to miss out. But let's go back to talking about this invisible gap, okay? You're creating content that's like, look how much I know, right? You're over educating. And here's what I need you to understand. Premium buyers don't care about all the details of how you get them from their problem to their desired state. Hear me say this very loud and clear. All they really want to know up front is that you can teleport them faster than anyone else to their desired state, and they will pay you for it. You are going to bore them with the details up front with how you do it. Let me give you a really generic example that will resonate, okay? Some of the finest face creams, I actually use one out of Switzerland that has royal jelly in it, okay? The ingredients are very complex, and you could create in the feed a detailed debrief of all the really phenomenal ingredients and like how they work with the skin and read off like an ingredients label. Or you could teleport me to my desired state and talk about the results of my dewy, youthful looking skin, right? We want to teleport to the desired state. Many of you are living in the how, you're living in the details because your ego has you stuck there in proving energy, and you're boring your premium client who just wants to know that you can get them to their desired state faster, that you are the solution, not how smart you are, okay? Point number 3, okay? This is where most people miss, and this is my signature strategy I'm going to be talking about next week, these coming weeks. I think it's next week in the masterclass, okay? Speaking of, you're not mirroring, okay? You need to be speaking to your customer's desired state, okay, their desired state and or the current friction and how it's showing up for them emotionally, okay? How it's showing up for them emotionally. Again, many of you are talking about the how in the middle, and you're totally missing premium buyer psychology of how this is showing up for me. Okay, I'll go back to the face cream example. I wake up as a 46-year-old woman looking in the mirror at my skin and wondering like what happened to my youthful skin, right? Don't even recognize myself, and I'm frustrated with the wrinkles, and right? This is mirroring my experience that I'm dissatisfied with versus selling me the ingredients, okay? Stops the scroll. The other piece of mirroring, and it's really important that we're mirroring what they would never actually say out loud, right? The other piece of mirroring, if you're not going to speak about their desire or the symptom that they're experiencing emotionally, we want to talk about the desired state, right? What is a desired state that they would not say out loud? So I'll pivot over into those of you who are in the relationship space, right? Stopping the scroll, because we talk about how they miss coming home and lighting up when their spouse walks through the door, that this flame has slowly dwindled and they can't put their finger on when it actually started to happen, right? But what they really desire is coming home and being whisked away. And like, okay, so you get my gist, right? My point here is that when you speak to your customer's desired state, in how it's showing up for them emotionally, you're going to stop the scroll, okay? And most of you are too stuck in your ego of how you do things, your intellectual property, your particular frameworks, how smart you are, that you have not learned how to stop the scroll and meet your customer where they are. And you're also speaking in general problems and broad inspiration instead of exact internal dialogue and specific frustration and desires, okay? When someone feels mirrored, they don't need to be convinced. They move. Coming from the woman who's closed over 36 clients in the last 8 months into a 15K offer without a single sales call, because I mirror what my customer is experiencing. I gain trust, which is a big thing we're going to talk about in the Messaging That Sells class upcoming, okay, is how you combat the trust recession with laser precision messaging so you can be closing mid and high ticket sales without sales calls. So this is the foundation to everything I teach inside Messaging That Sells, because once your message hits, you don't need more visibility. You don't need to go viral. You don't need to post more, right? You just need resonance with your ideal premium client. So details to register to the masterclass